I did a natty or not in the past, said guy's 100% natural, argued why, and then a month later, the guy fails the drug test. However, is it a conspiracy or not? Coach Greg, and huge announcement. Xiaojun, he has recently just failed a drug test. That's right. I did a natty or not in the past, said guy's 100% natural, argued why, and then a month later, the guy fails the drug test. However, is it a conspiracy or not? And in case you've never heard of this guy, he's arguably the most famous Olympic lifter of all time. The guy's been in multiple Olympics, setting records, winning gold medals, and he was going to compete again, at least try to. He was making a comeback at nearly the age of 40. And so many of you are thinking, well, they're all on steroids. Everyone's on steroids, all sports, all top athletes, they got to be on steroids. And so he failed, and so, see, he's on steroids, right? Wrong. You know what he failed for? Take a guess. Probably test, Tren, Anavar, D-ball, Deca? No, EPO. And you know what EPA is used for? For cardio, for racing bikes like Coach Greg. And no, I'm not an EPO. I've never taken it. I don't need to. It's something that would dramatically improve your cardiovascular endurance. And so last time I checked, guys who lift things up and put them down for maybe 5 seconds, 10 tops, they don't rely on their cardiovascular system to lift weights. They're using their anaerobic alactic energy system. There are 3 energy systems, the first being anaerobic alactic, meaning done without oxygen. EPO improves oxygen delivery to the muscles. The anaerobic alactic energy system does not use oxygen. And so you could give 10 times more oxygen and you would not lift a single pound heavier. And so he failed for something that wouldn't be of any benefit to him whatsoever. And so of all the things I would have predicted that he would have failed for, if he was in fact trying to cheat the system, this would have been the last one on the list. The last frigging thing. And so for me, I personally do not believe that the guy was injecting EPO. Not only that, why would he? Why would he choose EPO? It stays in your system for multiple days. It's hard to beat a drug test. It's easy to detect it. And so why would someone take something that you know you're going to fail? And so because of this, many people are speculating that perhaps they're using him as a sacrificial lamb. We don't want them to know about all the steroids being used by the other lifters, and so we'll offer up this guy. We'll allow him to fail, not for all the steroids, but for EPO. That way you can point the finger and blame your hero and say, oh, we got him. The rest of them, they're clean. I mean, after all, if this guy failed and no one else did, then, well, he's the cheat. But he's already won the medals. He's done. He's not going to perform the way he once was, and so what does it matter? And so is it possible that he was a sacrificial lamb? That he was given EPO without his consent, without his knowledge? Hey, take this vitamin B12 shot, make you feel better. Meanwhile, they slip in some EPO. How do we know? And so what is Lu Xiaojun's response to all of this? I have always strictly abided by the anti-doping policies and regulations of International Weightlifting Federation, World Anti-Doping Agency, and China Anti-Doping Agency. I believe the value of sports lies in fair play, and I resolutely oppose the use of any prohibited substance or prohibited method and any other kind of cheating. The use of prohibited substance or prohibited method is completely against my values, and it goes against the anti-doping education I have received. And so he vehemently denies it.
Vehemently, aka with great feeling.
Vehemently denies it. He's saying, I did not do this. I am innocent. In my 24 years of weightlifting career, I've competed in numerous major events and been tested hundreds of times. And since my retirement, I have received 8 doping control tests in just 4 months. And so think of it, the guy's been tested hundreds of times in past, and already this year, in the last 4 months, 8 times. How is it possible that suddenly he fails for something that doesn't even offer him any benefit whatsoever? I mean, if he failed for testosterone, Anavar, Winstrol, we'd be saying, pretty bad now, isn't it? But he fails for something that won't even help him. But Could it be that the hundreds of times he was tested in the past, that the people testing him, they knew about it, and they simply turned a blind eye? Imagine if your own country sends someone to drug test you and they don't want you to fail. They could show up and say, here, you need to pee in this cup. And rather than getting you to pee in it, they get their friend to pee in it. Or they test you, but they simply don't report the results. This has happened in the past amongst various countries around the world. They test you before the Olympics and say, oh, you are going to fail. They don't report it. They simply tell you, hey, you need to stop doing what you're doing. We're going to test you in another week. And if you pass, then we'll send you to the Olympics. If you don't, you're not going, because at the Olympics, they're really going to find out. And so is it not possible that all the tests this year, those 8, were done by his own government, who then didn't want him to fail? And so in this test, it was a secret mission done and deployed by someone outside of China. Someone that would not cover up the results. Someone that wanted to uncover, are they actually cheating? And lo and behold, they actually were. But it was with EPO. EPO of all things. And so we have it highly suspicious. We have a guy here saying, I'm innocent, and all they've caught him for is a drug that wouldn't help him. And so the reason people have speculated that he was probably on PDs is because the guy had a lot of muscle and lost muscle after he retired, and he stopped lifting weights. And so unless he's making a comeback as a Zwift cyclist trying to race Coach Greg, why would he take EPO? Especially knowing he would fail by taking it. It's not a new drug that's a secret that no one can detect. That they invented some special new drug test that magically detected EPO. It's something that's been around for decades and that you can easily get caught doing. Even in the Tour de France, they avoided using EPO because they would fail. Rather than that, they would do blood doping. They would remove blood from their bodies months prior to the tour, and then between events, they would reintroduce that blood into their bloodstream. They're literally sitting there getting blood transfusions in their camper van on the side of the road, and the next day, racing faster than last time. And they did that because they didn't want to use EPO because they would have failed. And so why would Lu Xiaojun now, after years of competing, passing every drug test, suddenly use EPO? Makes no sense. I love weightlifting very much, and as a lifter, I have won all results clean. I have neither any motive nor any reason to use any prohibited substance or prohibited method in the final phase of my beloved weightlifting career. I will cooperate with related organizations for investigation to find out the real cause of this issue and to prove my innocence. Think of it this way. The guy had won multiple Olympics, was a hero in China and around the world. One of, if not the most famous weightlifter of all time. And the guy was retired. He'd passed hundreds of drug tests in the past. And so why would he now decide to use steroids? Why would he, after all that glory, decide to throw it away? And so many of you, you're on a witch hunt. You're hoping all the greatest strength athletes in the world, everyone, you want them to be on steroids. You want the proof because it makes you feel better about your own bodies. You're thinking, yeah, that's why he's so strong. You just use steroids. But how does that really help you? And why are you comparing yourself to other people? Worry about yourself. And yeah, we don't want them to cheat, and we want a level playing field. But let's be honest, it's weightlifting and the Olympics, and is it actually surprising to catch anyone being a fake natty? Now, if you're looking for a safe alternative to EPO, something that's not banned by WADA, but that will give you the performance endurance boost you're looking for, look no further than GO2 Max. It quite literally has NMN, which is banned by the FDA, but not illegal to use in sports. And so he quite literally, if he really wanted to get the benefits of EPO, he could have said, well, I'll use GO2 Max instead. And so why would he take EPO when he could have taken GO2 Max, got the same benefit? Does that make sense? A legal alternative. Improve cardio. Decrease anti-aging effects. And in recent studies, it showed a 50% improvement in the distance walked in a 6-minute test without exercise. Take the pills, improve 50%. And of course, the FDA said, it works so great, we're banning it. And so this is the last run. After this, we can't produce it anymore, and so I highly suggest if you want to get the benefits of GO2 Max, click the link in the description and use code Greg. Right now, you can get 10% off, and we do have bulk orders available, and so if you want to really save some money, as NMN is not a cheap, you can order in bulk, save more money than last time. And so let me know in the comments section. Is this a conspiracy? Is China just offering up this guy saying, yeah, here's our scapegoat? All our other athletes are clean. If it wasn't, we would tell you about it. Trust us. Or do you think that Liu Xiaojun just a cheater? He cheated his whole life. He used EPO for years, and that's why he lifted all those heavyweights. You know, that EPO, it got him better at cardio, and that's why it has all those huge muscles. Let me know in the comment section. Please comment for the algorithm. I can't wait to read your comments. I want to know, what do you think? Do you think this guy cheated using EPO all those years and just got away with it? Or was he actually using steroids and they somehow didn't detect them? What do you think? Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, like the video if you liked it, watch at least one of the bloops, follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IP Pro. Follow me there, and until next time, I am out.